Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very glad today here to represent our company, IT Observer, and especially our project Novaro LV. We are a company who are working on applied real-time solutions of global navigation satellite systems. We are in a region of a small, medium enterprise company. So we were established just 3 years ago. Just recently we celebrated our 3-year anniversary. Basically we are working on two fields. So it's IT consulting and testing, and that includes both hardware and software. And what I'm going to talk more about here today, it's GNS applications for end users. So starting from 2011, we started to provide quality GNS services for companies and individuals. We also completed our first prototype tests of our telematic unit. So it was developed by our engineers. So basically, one of the motto of our company is that we invest in research and development. We also do support some popular scientific activities here in the country. The working principle of our Novaro services as ABC is very simple. So we have a telematic unit, receiver, which receives data from the satellites. Then we do use some cellular network or internet network, or it could be whatever link to get this data, to send this data to our computer servers. Then the data is processing, and automation of the process is started. And immediately data becomes available for the end user. What we are really proud that in our measurements, in the best cases, we did reach even less than a 2 seconds limit for all this process to happen. So I mean, it's starting from time 0, when the tracker receives data from the satellites, makes its first processing, then sends the data through the cellular network to our servers, and the data processing is happening on our servers, and then the data is becoming transferred to the end user computer. So it's all can be done in less than 2 seconds. But of course, like the bottleneck basically is a link, for example, from mobile connections. If you do use your mobile device for connecting and receiving this data, of course, then that's going to be the bottleneck of this system. So we provide the full spectrum of monitoring and automated control of moving objects and people. But our keyword here is safety. For example, it can be used for children and people with special needs, individual vehicle safety, vehicle fleet, shipment and logistics, pet monitoring, and so on. We do use servers which are highly scalable at the data center. So it means that we can increase the power of the servers if that is needed. We do have our incoming data server, a satellite navigation system incoming server SNS.lv. Here how typical end user screen, parts of a screen may look like. You can see the telematic data here, and you can also even get the photorealistic street view from a Google map if you want to. Basically, we do use a Google map and open map as our map layers, but it could be whatever layer you want, of course. Talking about talking about the street view photoreality, it may seem that it's just nice pictures and like fun stuff for people to use, but in fact it is much more than that. It could be very powerful tool for intelligence analysis of the information together when you put this information together with your real-time data, real-time object location. This is how it looks like the map of what Google have covered so far on like of course almost all Europe is covered, but talking about the Africa, it's just South Africa region which is covered at the moment, as on today. But of course the plans are going forward. We do support so not only our own tracker, as you saw it before, but we do support almost any currently available tracker in the market in our service. And if it not, we can easily to add some additional data protocols for their use. So this is again our just some ideas about our prototype. Its basic is high energy efficiency, what we achieve with this device. It's clever architecture, so it means that it's possible for easy future additions and development. There is extensive possibilities to add external sensors that may be, again, whatever you like, starting from movement sensors, temperature sensors, photo and video, in fact, fuel measurement, of course, and others. We do have developed secure communication data protocol, what again saves the amount of necessary data to what's needed to be sent to the server, and again that in a sense saves the energy what's needed for this process. We also do study not only the good cases, but of course the problems. We do have established a small laboratory where we do full-time GPS monitoring and make statistical data of data from incoming devices as well. For example, if it's in typical conditions, there is no problem. But there may happen some anomalies in data when suddenly a point object signal just drops, and in this case it's more than 100 kilometers in fact. And what happened in reality here, here is a pocket type tracker which was moved inside the building, so it lost signal, but it lost signal in such a way that this anomaly happened. So the message here is that it's actually, for example, this kind of case we can easily identify automatically. But the problem is that if you do not have the full time coverage, so you do not do the time analysis in a timely manner, so you cannot say anything by just receiving data from one point. And that's actually from last point where you see the device is. In fact, it may be even, as you can see here, hundreds of kilometers away. Here is again like some other examples with anomalies. Again, like for example, here it's the device has moved inside the pocket. This is measurement without the external antenna. It has moved a block away, and so it is not located where you think would be just by one point. The basic data mainstream again is very simple. We do receive these objects. Sorry, excuse me. The objects do receive data from satellite, and currently we use just L1 band. Of course, in the future there could be other bands as well, but so far we are pretty happy with this just one. And of course it costs much less this way. We do use cellular networks, either SMS or GPRS or other connection to get the data from our tracker to our incoming server, and then it goes to the main server, and finally it's ready for end user. Of course, as I said, the data, the keyword here is security, and only authorized users can access this data. Here I would like to mention, so for example, very many like social type services that are very common nowadays. In fact, they are not secure, and you can be easily calculated, and you can be pinpointed out from this as you think you are anonymous in this server, in this data, but in fact you are not. So we are taking a good care about such situations, so it should not be possible in our case. Now I would like you to sketch such a situation. Just imagine tonight you are driving home from work and you get into a little accident. Well, it was good, so nothing serious, it was just a little accident. But anyways, the system did take care and checked if you didn't need help. So you drive home and your gate opens automatically and door opens automatically, not because you need to send some SMS or to do something, but because the system knows that you are approaching home. And of course, I forgot to mention that the dinner started to cook because you are arriving home. So I think the future is already now, and that's what we do. Thank you.